halfway through January and I have not written down a single resolution. I have not cleaned or organized a single square inch of this home. I did take down the Christmas decorations. I do have that going for me. But in terms of January reset behavior, really haven't had a single one. I'm not the kind of girl that's going to get that all done in the first week of January. Anyways, I was never going to be that kind of girl. Sometimes you are the underdog. You come back in the third and fourth quarter and you win the entire thing. In this metaphor, the quarters are the weeks of January. It is the third quarter right now and I am still behind, but in the fourth quarter, just you wait. We're going to journal, write down my goals, reset, probably decorate for Valentine's Day. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get ahead on February. January, it's a wash. Let's just look to the future. And also probably start a new book. We might read ACOTAR. I don't know. Okay, just a thought. Maybe I will. Last year was the first year in a long time that I didn't write down any resolutions. And I think it's because we moved into this apartment in December, our lease started, and then the holidays happened. So we pretty much left immediately after moving our stuff in here. And then January is when we were organizing the house. And all this to say, time just got away from me last year and I didn't write down any resolutions. Previous years, I always typed them out in a Google Doc in my Google Drive so I could always access them from my phone. I was looking at previous years to see how I organized all of my goals and I put them in different categories. I would do career goals, personal goals, and recreational goals. And then some years I had a section for health and fitness related goals and then also for home goals because I feel like apartment stuff can be a section in and of itself. For example, cleaning out your closet twice a year or making sure to only buy furniture, art that you really care about, just like anything relating to your home space. The other sections are maybe self-explanatory, but career, obviously anything to do with your career. If you want X amount of money or you want a raise or you want to switch careers, whatever that is. Personal would be more so like going on X amount of first dates, or maybe you want to try out a new coffee shop every month, whatever that is. Recreational would be reading X amount of books, knitting X amount of projects, learning to sew. Health and fitness goals, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to try a new workout every month, I will probably keep the same sections as I've done in previous years because I don't know, I like breaking it down that way. But I think to start, I think I'm just going to journal and then I'll probably transition into doing more so bullet points and breaking everything down into sections. But I think I'm just going to journal to start. I haven't journaled by hand in a really long time. When I have ever journaled, I tend to just do it on my laptop in my Google Docs because for me, typing is easier. It's not as poetic. It's not as romantic to type. And I feel like I'm more likely to journal if I can type it as opposed to writing it. It's not as aesthetic, but I think I'm going to try handwriting today. And my hand is definitely going to cramp. When is the last time I've ever written like sentences on sentences on sentences by hand? Hasn't been in a really long time. Even me saying this, I'm like, wait, maybe I should type it. Should I type it? I'll definitely write more if I type it. I feel like if I type on my laptop, I'm going to like pull up Instagram or something and just like get distracted. And like, we don't need to be doing that. That's not how our year is starting. We're going to journal by hand. This is a fresh journal, by the way, that was just like sitting in my drawer. Haven't written a single thing in this. It also came with a pack of stickers. Cute. Maybe there's some cute ones I can use. Oh yeah. There's a sticker that says slow down and fun. Okay. Some good buzzwords for the year. I did cry, of course, naturally. I don't know how someone would journal and not cry. It is a form of therapy. It's therapy with you in the page. It's putting all of your thoughts into words. If my mascara is smudged, that is why. Some sad tears, some happy tears. I feel like reflecting on things and thinking through things, like you can get kind of sad, but also looking towards the future and like thinking about everything that you do have. It's a little bit of both. Also, wait, elephant in the room. Shelves going up. There will be an entire video about mounting those shelves, but that's happening right now this week. Like that will be done in a matter of days, which is so crazy. That's the 2026 motivation. We are finishing what we started. We are mounting shelves. 2026 goals. Obviously, I'm not going to read you my journal, or I'm not going to share every single goal that I have because that would just be embarrassing. But I do want to talk about some of my thoughts. Let's talk about forming goals in general, because I feel like in previous years, I've always heard that you need to write down a specific number. Like you need to write down a goal that that is easy to track. So if it's like making a certain amount of money, like you need to write down a number. If it's working out X amount of times a week, like there needs to be a number. You can't just say work out more. For example, one of my goals, read 40 books. I want a number for that. I don't want to write down read more, because what does that mean? I want to write down read 40 books, which, yes, I agree. It is nice to have a number in mind so you can make sure if you're on track for your goal, if you're close to your goal. If something is vague, you are less likely to do it. But for other goals, I feel like it's not as helpful, and it's actually detrimental, and it's actually going to like not help you progress as a person in any way whatsoever. During college time, I always had a resolution that was to do with working out X amount, eating a certain way, or weighing a certain amount, which if you don't want to listen to this part, you can skip ahead a little bit. But I just feel like there was such an emphasis placed on numbers in those areas, and it was actually so detrimental. Even if I hit those goals, let's say, it was always detrimental. As soon as I switched those resolutions to be more about like a mindset and more vague, definitely more vague. So like some people would be like, oh, well, that's not helpful because you can't track it. There are certain things that actually need to be more vague because it is more healthy for you mentally. What really helped me in that area, and actually like low-key kind of changed my life, my friend Helen, she used to always say, and she probably still says it, we don't exercise, we move our bodies. And something like about that really spoke to me. Like, yeah, I don't exercise. Like I don't go out and exercise every day. Like I just need to move my body. It doesn't matter what it is. Like maybe you do go to a workout class. Maybe you go on a 30-minute walk. Like you just need to move your body every single day. We don't exercise, we move our bodies, eating intuitively, having a better mind-body connection. Those 3 things, they were on my resolution list for several years. And then suddenly I woke up one year and I completed them. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I don't really need to write these down anymore, because like that's just who I am. Like that's just how my brain works now. Like I don't really have to think about those being goals now, because that's just how I am. Which the health and fitness category, like that is an area where like numbers aren't helpful for a lot of people. And like I personally don't need to think about numbers in that department ever again. Okay, like it's all about mindset in that category for me for the rest of my life. Once upon a time, I never thought that I would think about that category of my life in the way that I do now. When I get to that category, it's kind of crazy. I'm like, oh, well, I don't even have to write down these mindset shifts as goals, because like that's just who I am now. I do still write them down because I think it's helpful to keep in mind. I do have a point, which is that I've seen that transition and that success in that area of my life, going from numbers to a mindset shift and then coming out on the other side and being like, oh wow, like I just think about this whole area of my life differently. I've seen that success in my life. Another area that I have always considered the numbers, and this year I'm actually deciding to have a mindset shift, is when it comes to social media. I do content. I like doing content. In previous years, I've always had goals about hitting X amount of followers or subscribers or posting X amount of times a week, whatever. And I just think the numbers in that category has not helped me. And I think I need to embrace more of a mindset shift, which will be hard to do because social media is such a numbers game. Like there is so much emphasis placed on your analytics, like it's all numbers. But I just think that it hasn't really served me. I don't have any good mantras for this area like I did for the health and fitness. I feel like I always had like a good thing I could repeat in my mind to help me shift my mindset. So I need to come up with what my mantra is going to be in the social media department. But all I know is that in previous years, I've always written down numbers. This year, I'm not writing down numbers. Maybe that resonates with a few of you guys. I know that was a really like long-winded explanation, but I just feel like every single year I see someone coming online talking about how whatever resolution you make, you need to make sure you can track it. And I just disagree. I disagree, because I have seen the success in focusing on more of a mindset in my life. I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on the category. I think it just comes down to knowing yourself and knowing like at your heart of hearts, is putting a number to this actually going to help me, or is it just going to hurt me? Another thing I wanted to talk about, I saw a guy make a TikTok video talking about the idea of happiness and how he thinks about achieving happiness or being happy the same way he thinks about sleeping. No one just goes to sleep. It's not a switch that you flip. What you do is you do all of the things that'll help you go to sleep. You have a dark room, a cold room, good sheets, maybe a fan, in hopes that you will go to sleep. And then suddenly you drift off to sleep. And he said that he thinks about happiness a similar way, where no one can just be happy. It's not a flip you switch. There's no secret sauce. But what you can do is you can set yourself up for happiness. You can wake up at a good time. You can have the coffee you like. You can go on a 30-minute walk. However you need to be set up to be the happiest that you can be on any given day, that is what you should be doing. We do it when we go to sleep, so why aren't we doing it when we wake up to set ourselves up for happiness? And so I really, really liked that. It might be a convoluted way to say, have a good morning routine. Maybe it is as simple as like, have a good morning routine, but I think thinking about it that way just made so much sense to me, because I do set myself up for sleep every night. Why am I not setting myself up for happiness, success, positivity every single morning? That's something I really want to focus on this year. Obviously, that's going to look different for every single person. For me, off the top of my head, it's waking up at a decent time, going outside first thing in the morning. I am so much happier when I go on a walk first thing in the morning as opposed to the afternoon. Like, I've always been that way. I know this about myself. I need to wake up, I need to go outside, having a good cup of coffee that I enjoy, and getting dressed even if I am working from home. That is crucial actually, because I'm so bad about that. Like, I am the kind of person, oh, I can just wear pajama pants. I don't have to wear a bra. I can just edit on the couch. Like, no, if I am home alone, like, I need to get dressed. I need to just put on a little outfit, maybe a little bit of makeup. I feel so much better about myself. So those are a few things off the top of my head. Those are the two things I wanted to talk about. I feel like I'm never this self-helpy and preachy on this channel, but the first thing I just feel very passionate about. And the second thing, I don't know, I just like really liked the way he worded it. Like, it just made sense to me. Maybe one or both, or honestly none. Maybe none of those things spoke to you, but I thought I would share. How did spring become the time to clean? Like, why is spring cleaning a thing? Because I feel like January is the time where that should be happening. I feel like that's when I think about it. I don't think about cleaning in spring at all. I'm not going to be doing like a full closet clean out, cleaning every single surface of this home in this video, but I do want to focus on this chest of drawers, clean the top of it, organize the top of it, organize all the clothes in the drawers, because I am unfortunately the kind of person who just throws things on top. This drawer I do a little bit of a better job because these are all just t-shirts, so they're a little bit easier to organize, but I just need to pull everything out of these drawers, fold it all, get rid of some stuff, and just clean it. Like, clean the whole top, like everything. This is gonna get very messy very fast. I'm actually not gonna be doing this top drawer because this is my underwear drawer, and like I just don't really need to be like organizing that on camera because that's weird, even though this one really does need to be organized. I'm just gonna do these 5 plus. I actually just pulled some laundry out of the dryer, so I'm gonna be folding that and organizing that and stuff too. This is the clothing I gathered to get rid of, which I definitely could have gotten rid of more, but this stuff is just the really obvious stuff. Like, it was a no-brainer, you know? I don't have to try it on. I know for a fact, like, I should not keep this stuff. This tank top, there's no support. I don't really like it. Like, I feel like it looks weird. This top, honestly, I used to wear this a fair amount, but I don't think I need it. These jeans, these are the Zara Marine Straights. I used to rep the Zara Marine Straight jeans, like, to hell and back. I had them in every single color. I've gotten rid of a few colors at this point. I kept 2 of them, the blue jeans and the white jeans, but these black jeans are so faded. They're very beat up, and I just never pick them over the other black jeans I have, the Abercrombie Curve Loves. I don't need these anymore. These Madewell jeans, these used to be my go-to black jeans, but I don't really like the style anymore. They're kind of too tight on my leg, and they're so faded. They're almost gray. If they've done their time, I'm always gonna pick a different pair of jeans over those. Same with these jeans. These also used to be my go-to. These kind of are a little bit cropped, like hit mid-calf. It's just not in style anymore. They're also very faded, and they've done their time. 2 random t-shirts that I just don't wear, and I have so many t-shirts, I don't need these. This tennis skirt that I got from Amazon, and it's just a little bit too short, a little bit too tight, kind of see-through. When I first started wearing tennis skirts, this was the first one I bought, and then I started buying like Outdoor Voices. I have one from J. Crew. This was like a starter tennis skirt, and like I just have better ones. Whatever the hell this is, like, hello? These leggings from NYX, which I actually love so much. Like, I love these leggings. I would wear them still if I could, but they have a hole in the butt, which I actually discovered on our Alaska trip. I put them on, and then I was like, oh, holy hell. There's a hole in my butt. It is tiny, I will say, but once it's on my body, I feel like it kind of stretches. I do love those leggings though, so that's actually really sad. These pajama pants, which I love the plaid, but they're just like a little bit too tight on my thighs. I feel like they're a little bit too tight, and they're flannel, so they're not like super stretchy. Every time I put them on, I feel like I take them off and I pick another pair. I was on a roll with that. I just ended up grabbing a few random things in the kitchen. I feel like this is gonna be my MO. Like, anytime I see something that I know we don't need, I just need to go ahead and grab it. Like, I don't need to do this huge overhaul of the entire home. Like I just need to do everything really gradually. I feel like that's key for me because I'm not good at getting rid of a bunch of stuff at once. I just grabbed some random stuff in the kitchen. I mean, one of these things is actually crazy. I got this in a PR package from CeraVe. Why? It looks like I'm drinking lotion. Like how unappetizing is that? The way you get free t-shirts when you're on a college campus, like that's what mugs are like in your adult life. Like they just appear. A mug from Cinnabon. Again, just ended up in my lap. Don't need this. 2 random water bottles. This is like a knockoff Stanley, but it's like really, really beat up. I don't know where the straw is. It has scratches all over it and it's just not the water bottle I use anymore. This one too, I never use this water bottle. This is actually an Awala. This is actually kind of nice. I didn't realize this was an Awala. And then 4 of these salt and pepper shakers that we don't use. We just use like the grind salt and pepper that you buy at the store. And also if we were going to have salt and pepper shakers on our table that we really liked, I feel like I would have something different. Like these are just really plain. That's everything I'm getting rid of and I feel good about that. So I'm gonna go put these, of course, you know, with all of the other stuff that I've yet to donate. I just have like a running pile of stuff, which I do need to go ahead and take, but I feel like that is a universal thing that people do. Collect all of your clothes, put it in a trash bag, and then it just sits in the trunk of your car for a couple of months until you drive by Goodwill. Like that is unfortunately what I do. The point is that they're going to be added to that pile, and that's better than them sitting with the stuff that I own. I'm running to the grocery store really quickly to get stuff for dinner. We're doing our easiest recipe, which is also our healthiest recipe. I don't even know if you can call it a recipe because it's like literally just combining 2 things. We get a bag of salad and then we get salmon and we fry it in the air fryer and that's it. Then you just combine the 2. Like it's literally the simplest thing ever, but it's so easy. It takes what, like 15 minutes? Like you just season the salmon and throw it in there and that's it. The laziest, healthiest meal possible. And that's what we're doing tonight. But of course I am also going to be getting a dessert, so it kind of cancels out.
Leave the window instead to the front.
Eggs, bananas, salad, salmon, cinnamon rolls, which actually, important to note, do not get the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. Sister Schubert, they are significantly better. I think they might be like $1 or $2 more, but they are night and day, and they're actually much easier because they come in the pan already. This is what my parents buy for Christmas morning, Thanksgiving morning, just like anytime we're home, this is what they buy. And I don't know why I didn't make the switch in my head to be like, buy what your parents buy. It's not available everywhere. They don't have it at Kroger, but they have it at Publix. So good, life-changing. Baby Bell, I like just having these and eating these with almonds when I want a little snack. And then more turkey for sandwiches. We already have pimento and bread and lettuce, but didn't have the meat. I actually think I'm gonna go on a walk because as much as I was talking about setting myself up for success in the morning, I did not go on a walk this morning. So I am already messing up my resolutions, but that's okay. If we don't go on a walk in the morning, we can still go on one in the afternoon. It's not preferred, and I am much happier when I do it in the morning, but it's better to do it at some point than not at all. Honestly, I love walking in wintertime. I feel like the cold air just makes it that much more refreshing. Breaking Bad has been paused. Cinnamon rolls are in the oven. I am making Valentine's Day garland. If you've scrolled on your phone at all in the past couple of weeks, you've probably seen this. I feel like it's just been everywhere, at least on my feed. This Valentine's Day garland that's not like the normal garland that people do all the time, but it's garland in the shape of hearts. It's so cute. I'm not sure if it's going to work with what I have because I have construction paper. I don't have cardstock, so it's going to be a little bit flimsier. I don't know if the heart shape is going to hold. If it doesn't, that's fine. I'll just do the normal garland. I wanted to use the supplies I already have. I just have a bunch of construction paper. I'm just going to use that so I don't have to go out and buy some cardstock. Like it just feels silly to do that for a little bit of decoration. I also have this garland from Target. I have 2 little strings of garland and I think I'm just going to decorate the fireplace in this room as opposed to doing this one and the one in the dining room. I feel like it would be fun to just focus on this one because this is where we spend most of our time anyways. I have this garland, just these little pom-poms, and then I have this with little XOs. These 2 paired with this I think could be really cute, like doing different levels and layers to it. I think I'm going to do the first version that she does, which is the hearts kind of running vertically, and we'll see how that looks. Aw, it looks so cute. Success. This is what I'm gonna do. be draped more. Maybe more like that. I think I might actually do one of these up here. I was thinking I would layer them all, but honestly, I feel like I should put something up here. I just don't know which one. I kind of think I want the X's and O's up here. I feel like that makes more sense. And then I'm gonna do the pom-poms down low. Okay, I think it looks awesome. Let's talk about it. I have not read ACOTAR. It's really crazy that I've made it this far and I haven't read this series, but it's honestly even crazier that I've made it this far and I don't know much about it. I really don't. I'll tell you guys everything I know about this series. I know it's about fairies. I know there's someone in it named Tomlin, and I know that it's set during Christmas, or there's like a Christmas party or dinner or something, and that's pretty much it. I don't know where I heard the Christmas thing because there's no mention of Christmas. It is wintertime when the book starts, but then it's very much springtime. I don't know what I was on about. I haven't even read the back of the book or the synopsis on Goodreads or anything because I'm just so scared that even that is gonna give me a spoiler. I run in the opposite direction anytime this pops up anywhere. I'm like, don't tell me anything, which is why it's just silly that I haven't read it yet, because it's like, okay, girl, if you're so scared of spoilers, just go ahead and read the book. What has led me to start this book today? I think because someone said that there's a Christmas party, dinner party, or it's set during wintertime, and I want to read it before I get too far away from wintertime. Once we get to February, March, it's gonna start getting hotter in Atlanta, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, well, should I read it or should I wait until winter? Like, I don't want that to happen. Like, I think I need to go ahead and read it. Also, I do know that this is romantasy. The Tomlin character is the character that everyone's obsessed with, I'm pretty sure. And so I feel like the time to read a romantasy book like this, anywhere between Halloween and Valentine's Day, I feel like that is the time to read a fantasy book, or specifically a romantasy book, because it's, you know, spooky, it's cold outside, that feels very fantasy. And then also we have the romance. Like, I don't want to get too far away from Valentine's Day. So I feel like my window is now. And if I wait much longer, it's gonna feel too warm outside. I think the time is now, which I know this is an entire series. I'm hoping that I become so addicted that this is like my next 5 books that I read. I know people are obsessed with the second book specifically. I know my life is about to change. And I also know once I reach Throne of Glass, my life is actually gonna change. Like, people say that's the moment that your life has changed. I feel like I need to start with this series before I do that one. You guys are witnessing me embark on an entire journey. It starts today. I don't know how many pages this is. I'm kind of scared. I'm like literally so scared of this book to see something. It says it's just over 400 pages. Of course, there won't be any spoilers. Don't worry, okay? Speaking as someone who has avoided this like the plague, like, I would not do that to any of you. It's so funny how I've built this up so much in my mind and I really don't know anything about it. Like, I've told you what I know. Like, that is what I know. And it's so funny that I'm like, here we go. Like, here it begins. And it's like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. Like, I have a pretty good feeling I'm gonna like this series. Like, everybody is obsessed with it, but I don't even know if it's my favorite book series. You know what I mean? But that's the way it feels. Like, it feels so built up in my mind. Should I read the back of the book? I'm just gonna kind of skim it. Okay, when a 19-year-old huntress actually, no, I have seen this name too. Now that I'm reading it, I have seen this name online. Feyre. I don't know how that is pronounced. I'm gonna have to look that one up. 19-year-old girl kills a wolf in the woods. This guy appears that is like something that she's heard about from folklore. He appears, he takes her captive. As she adapts to her new home, her feelings for that guy transform from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. But something is not right in the fairylands. An ancient wicked shadow is growing, and that young woman's name that I can't pronounce must find a way to stop it or doom Tomlin and his world forever. Need to take off the sticker that's on the front. I got this at Eagle Eye for $7, which is probably where I'm gonna go back and buy the rest of the series when that time comes. They had multiple used copies of everything in this series and then also a lot of Throne of Glass stuff. Great bookstore, haven't been there in a while. 100 pages in, let's discuss. Again, no spoilers, don't worry. The first 50 pages, I feel like we were just learning about her life and her family, the human world, just she's going out and hunting for her family. They're pretty poor, going into town to sell stuff, just learning about her life and also a little bit about humans and their thoughts on the fairy world. That was the first 50 pages. The next 50 pages, she's been taken by this creature, like it said in the synopsis, and she's taken to the fairy world where all of the fairies live. Now we're learning about that world and like where she's living and sleeping. We've met a few characters, just kind of their lifestyle and about magic and just kind of what's going on there. But I feel like honestly, the first 100 pages has just been getting to know these two different environments. I'm hoping in the next 100 pages it really starts to pick up because I am enjoying it. Like I was reading the entire time, but I haven't been like ripping through the pages, you know, like that ravenous feeling that you get where you're just like, oh my God, like that hasn't happened yet. So I'm waiting for that feeling to happen, and I feel like it will soon because, you know, you can't be doing like the world building stuff forever. So I feel like it will happen in the next 100 pages. Even though I have been learning a lot, I still have a lot of questions too. You know, like I am understanding like why she was taken to live in this land, whatever. Like I'm getting it, but I'm also like, why? You know, like I feel like there's stuff going on that I don't understand yet. So yeah, I'm kind of like, what's going on? Like what's actually going on? Like I need to ask some people some questions. So I have more to learn. I hope the pace picks up. I am enjoying it. And yeah, that's kind of my update. I'm on page 103 for anyone who wants to know, about to start chapter 12. And this is the bookmark that I've been using. I got this in England in Paddington Bear. Other thing I wanted to say, I feel like I say this every single time I'm reading a fantasy book, but they're describing a lot of stuff that I have to imagine. Like, I don't know exactly what a fairy looks like, this wolf that she killed, like how the land, like they're describing a lot of stuff. And I always feel so tempted to look up fan art, but I never want to do that because I'm scared I'm gonna get a spoiler. Like if I type in like, what does this one character look like they keep describing these different fairies that we've met like 3 fairies so far, I think, and it's like, okay, well, they're describing like, oh, they have this color hair, they're wearing this certain thing, whatever, and I really want to look it up, but I haven't let myself. And this always happens with a fantasy book where I'm like, I'm imagining something, it might be pretty far off, I would like to see what everyone else thinks, but I haven't looked up any fan art yet just because there's so many books in the series. I feel like if I search up one character, it's gonna be some fan art of that character, you know, marrying a character I haven't heard of, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like I'm gonna get a spoiler. So honestly, I feel like reading a fantasy series as it comes out is really fun for that reason, because if you read the book that's released and then you look up the fan art, like you're not gonna get any spoilers for the next book, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like with a series like this, so many of the books are out, I really can't risk it. I can't risk it, you know? Like I'm gonna get a spoiler from the 4th book if I Google any of these names. So I'm holding off. Maybe I will at some point, I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe I just need to finish the series and I'll just have this image of these fairies in my mind that might be completely incorrect, but that's how fantasy books go. Going to get tapas at Iberian Pig. There's 2 locations in Atlanta. There's one in Decatur and one in Buckhead. I've been to the one in Decatur. Tonight we're going to the one in Buckhead. I think that's the original. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but it's really good. If you like tapas, I love tapas. Our reservation's at 7:30, so we need to leave like now. My purse and my socks, they match, if you even care. Our dinner for 2 last night turned into a dinner for 4 because we sat down and then I saw my brother like 2 seconds later. I saw him like through the bar. He was kind of cut off. I couldn't even see who he was with. So I walked over and he was sitting with my god brother who's been in town visiting for a few days, who actually left today. Like he left this morning. So we joined tables because they had just sat down. We had just sat down. Like no one had even ordered drinks yet. So we combined tables, which was really fun. It felt like it was fate. This morning I've been focusing on this winter storm that's coming. I was making an entire grocery list, planning out a bunch of different dinner recipes, lunch, breakfast, whatever for the coming days. We were also supposed to go to Charleston this weekend, but then I ended up moving that to next weekend. So that was a whole thing. So this morning has kind of been about just getting my ducks in a row, okay? Sorting everything out because I knew the storm was coming a few days ago, but I feel like today it really all clicked. Like I realized, oh my God, like I need to go to the store. Yeah, that's been my morning. I haven't read at all today. It's gonna be interesting to see what this weather ends up being like because right now people are saying it could be, you know, awful, horrible, electricity, gone for days, whatever, or it might not be a thing at all. So we will see. We're playing the waiting game now. Everything's sorted. What I do know is that this weekend is going to be prime time for reading, okay? Nothing like a winter storm or a rainy day to get you reading. I hope it snows. I think as of right now, it's supposed to be just more sleet, icy, cold rain freezing on the ground. I don't think snow is really in the forecast in a true way. I wish it were because last year we got so spoiled with the snow that we had. That doesn't happen that often in these parts. That would be perfect cozy reading weather. I have no updates for you on this book because I haven't read anything since yesterday. I'm literally in the same spot. So I'll check in when I have more to say. halfway through this book and I have questions. I talked about how at page 100, things weren't really making sense to me. I just needed more information on a certain thing, and I still have not gotten the information that I want. At page 100, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe we'll find out soon. No worries. Maybe I missed something. Page 200, I don't think I missed anything. I think that we're just being told to accept this as fact. You don't actually need the details on it. Like, this is just how it is. I unfortunately need more details. I do need those details because when it comes to fantasy books, you know, like pigs can fly, people can cast spells, like people can disappear, whatever, like anything goes as long as you have the foundation that lets those things make sense. You know, like it's all about world building, and I just feel like this one thing, it doesn't feel like I can accept it. I feel like I sound like a Debbie Downer, but honestly, I haven't been able to enjoy her doing all of these things and painting and exploring this world because I just keep thinking about this one thing. Like, how am I supposed to enjoy all of this other stuff when like this other thing hasn't been cleared up? If she could do me a solid, I need her to ask the people the questions that I want her to be asking. You know, she's not asking the right questions for me. I need her to be a little bit more inquisitive. Hey y'all, just wanted to check in and say that it has been cleared up. Should have happened maybe in the first 100 pages, but she was just taking her time. We're gonna push forward. We're gonna carry on. I'm dropping all of my annoyance. I'm dropping my frustration. I'm a little annoyed still, but I'm gonna move past it, okay? I can move on. I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, the first book in the ACOTAR series, and I'm ready to go on to the second book. I know that's where people say the series really gets good. You just have to get through this first book. The second book is where it's at. I am prepared. I'm excited. I rated this book 3.5 stars on Goodreads. If you want to go read my Goodreads review, that review is probably a little bit more specific than how I'm going to be on here, and also lengthy. I mean, not so lengthy, but I typically write like 1 or 2 sentences on Goodreads. That one, multiple sentences, because I'm giving the people what they want. You know, this is a long time coming. We're going to chat. We're going to talk about it. So go read that. If you've already read the book, if me speaking in vague terms on here, you're like, what is she talking about? Go read that, because I'm a little bit more specific if you need more clarity. I did enjoy my entire reading experience. Like, I never had a lull. I consistently read it. I never felt like I couldn't keep going at any point. But the pacing of the first 300 pages versus the last 100 pages was night and day. The first 300 pages, relatively slow. The last 100 pages, so much action. Like, more action than you could even believe. Like, so much happens in the last 100 pages. It's actually crazy, which I'm not one to really mind that. I'm never one to shy away from a book that people say, oh, you just need to get through the first 100 pages or the first 200 pages. Like, you just need to keep going. I think the reason why the pacing of this book maybe was more annoying than it would typically be for me is because of what I talked about before. A piece of information that I felt like I wasn't learning. I felt like I wasn't really loving the world building, how we were going about it, and I felt like I couldn't buy into this world in the way that I wanted to. I know I already talked about this. That whole thing paired with the pacing just made me annoyed. I think that's the best way to describe it. I never stopped reading. I was enjoying it, but there was just this mild annoyance in the back of my head. Like, every single thing I read, I kept being like, okay, but how am I supposed to enjoy this when? Okay, but does anyone want to tell me? Like, you know, I just feel like it was always in the back of my head in every single chapter until I got to the last 100 pages. Once I got to the last 100 pages, I felt like my annoyance was gone. I was fully able to enter the world, enjoy it. It was so action-packed, so action-packed. I'm so ready for the second book. I can see how we've been set up for a great second book. I feel like there's interesting experiences to explore, romance, storylines to explore. This wasn't left on a cliffhanger, but there was definitely a moment towards the end that means something, and I want to know what that means. I think once I read the second book and the rest of the series, I think I'll actually enjoy this book more. One, because once you fall in love with the series, then like, how can you not end up loving the first book even more, because that's the start of the entire series, but also because I think there's a lot of information in this book that doesn't really mean anything upon reading it the first time, but then once you keep reading the series, this book has a lot of hidden meaning or information that holds weight later on. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting, maybe. Because one thing that the fairies constantly repeat to Farah, they constantly say it to her, do not trust your senses. Don't believe anything you see or hear or feel or smell. Like, they say that your senses are your worst enemy. And so I'm getting the feeling that there's a lot of stuff in this book that probably isn't what it seems. I do have thoughts on specific characters that I have one character in particular I have complicated feelings about, but I feel like even saying that might be a crumb of information, so I don't really want to say that. Thank you for coming along this journey, for your patience, for the people that have been begging me to read this book. I went ahead and got the second book on my Kindle, actually. I'm literally on 3%, so nothing's happened, but I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point, I post everywhere else online. You can also subscribe to me on here, which would be literally so fucking sweet of you if you hit that subscribe button. And I think with that, I'm literally gonna gonna go out and buy the rest of the series today. Like, that is what I'm gonna do right after this. So I think with that, this is goodbye. I have a crick in my neck, so if I was looking particularly stiff in that clip, I like literally can't move this way.